Incredible how much more density this one adds to this acoustic guitar.
All right, how do we look?
Christmas came early. Acustica Audio just dropped what they call the king of saturators. It's called Jam, and who else could present it? They sampled 14 analog units for a total of 25 emulations of classic and modern saturator. And today I'm gonna show it to you, but we are also gonna play a game. Let's see if I can figure out what they are modeled after. Let's get to it. All right, Jam by Acustica Audio might be the last saturator plugin that we need. I said the same with all these compressors and other things though. Anyway, it's got, like I said in the intro, 14 analog units sampled for a total of 25 different types of saturation modeled. Like all the Acustica plugins, it comes with two different GUIs, the flat one that you see on my screen right now, and also the analog-like GUI, and we also have the 4 usual variation, Jam, so full features, then we have Jam Mix and Jam Zero Latency, all of them available with both GUIs. Let's start taking a look at the GUI and the functions. Up here you have the size of the GUI, so the GUI is resizable. We have oversampling, extended oversampling like all the other plugins from Acustica Audio. Input slider first, we have our metering with our gain reduction, so the saturation applied by the plugin. We have our big knob here, which determines the amount of clipping that we are doing. And of course, this knob changes when we change model of saturator, and I am gonna try to figure out, based on the names and the knobs and the sound, what saturator each one is modeled after. Variable mid-side knob, so we can decide if we wanna saturate more the mid channel or the sides. Then we have the shape knob, which is useful, but in my experience, and I do have quite some experience with the plugin because with this one you actually find my presets right here. Most of the time I like it in standard, but to try to explain you what this knob does in layman terms, think of it as the curve in a wave shaper, okay? The saturation and distortion is gonna be harder as you turn it clockwise and more mellow and more relaxed as you turn it counterclockwise. Then we have a mix knob right here, our output slider with both RMS and peak meters here. And then the bottom part. In the bottom part, we have a preamp with its gain knob here at the center. Then we have a low pass insert button, high pass, and a simple but very effective EQ with a low shelf and a high shelf, and the frequency slider with its dedicated on and off button here. Super simple, very intuitive. We have only 3 drop-down menu, the oversampling, the type of saturation and unit model here, and the mix type. As you can see here, it decides the algorithm disto-peak digital, disto-peak hard, soft. This actually have a pretty substantial impact on the sound when you use the mix knob, so don't overlook this control, but I'm gonna keep it a classic for this demo. Without further ado, let's start and let's hear how it sounds. We start with the buff mass and mass 2. I'm guessing from the way the knob looks and the name that it's probably modeled after the overstayer mass. My first impression of this plugin when I worked on the presets for you guys, it's probably one of the most effective plugins to reduce peak and control dynamic in a transparent way. Of course, many of these saturators are colored, but what I found is that if you don't push the input and if you keep the gain reduction at max 3 dB, it's probably one of the most transparent and effective plugins to control peaks and give you more headroom, a better crest factor, whether it's on single tracks or on mix. So because of this, to really understand the different models and how they sound and how they react to the material, if I drive the input really hard, it's easier to hear the differences between the various units emulated. So this is probably what I'm gonna do during this test, but I'm just gonna go with the flow with what feels right. You just keep an eye on the GUI and follow my moves, okay? Okay, so first thing to notice, and please keep an eye on it, here on the where it says mix bus, I'm leaving the metering exposed so you can see the gain reduction, like how much headroom I'm gaining, matching by ear the perceived loudness. And I really like this one. These first two models here, they're very warm and fuzzy. They kind of shave off the edge of the top end and add just a little bit of low mid grunt to it. And I'm pushing it really hard. Let's go from here to the next. Oh, this is nice, man. Coffee C25 with this knob. I want a Wild Guess Chandler. I really like this one. There's a lot of richness given the same volume in all the mid-range, meaning including low mids and high mids. Really nice. And as you saw, the gain staging changes dramatically from the previous one. Those filters are nice as well. I really love the low end on that. Right now I'm not running the preamp. Then we have the Crimson, and we have 4 different types. Nice, so much density with this one. Crimson Zen SFT. Looking at the knob and that color, my wild guess is Vertigo. I really like the Zen SFT and both the soft. Pretty color, this one. Let's go to the next one. Is Flame Asymmetric, and then Flame Symmetry and Flame Vintage. I remember Flame Vintage because it was one of my favorites, and one or more than my presets have that algorithm. Oh, that's why I liked it. This one has a big fat bottom end here, and it sounds just great. Let me kind of match the levels a little bit. I really want to push this one. Love it. This is definitely one of my favorites, and my guess for what it is, with that knob, I want to say Evil, Vucifer, I don't remember what's the name. It's the one with the big gem-like knobs, but I totally love it. Gunmetal, another one of my favorites, and I think the J is also one of the algorithms that I use in my presets. Meza. Okay, let's stop here. We scrolled through 3 more, which was Meza, Muff, and Saffron. As you can hear, some of them work better on transient material. That's why I have this synth sound on it and then a kick drum, because I want to hear which one works better for the transient material, the fast event, which one can help me gain more headroom when I have a lot of transit, and which one works better on long events and adds more harmonic content to it. So before we continue, if you like the content, please subscribe and consider using the new function, the super thanks, and support the channel. And if you really want to learn how to mix and master professionally, click the join button down here, become a MixBus member, access the already big and always growing library of full mixing courses, start to finish, mastering courses on many different genres, and a lot more. Let's get back to the video. Meza is, well, we kind of understand, but I have no idea which Meza that would be. Muff, again, we kind of guess this is a muff pedal of some sort. Taupe, I wanted to say this is probably the saturation on Taupe by Acustica Audio, but it kind of look distressor-y. At least this first one here kind of look like a fatso, maybe? Something like that. Ooh, this is cold, man. Really, really, really nice. We gain a lot of headroom and a lot of density with that one. And then we have Violet CV. CV, Culture Vulture, I want to say. Let's hear it. Oh man, I slapped on the preamp. This is nice. Hear how much body it adds. I noticed, at least with this, I don't know if the preamp probably doesn't change based on the Clipper/Saturator algorithm, but I'm not sure. We'll try. But I noticed if you push it too hard, it tells you immediately you're pushing me too hard. But if you stay even right now at this, I'm pushing the input, but around unity gain, it's really nice. Dude, that's nice. Here, listen to the kick. We can do another quick test on like drums, because with saturators it's always a good idea to hear it on drums. I'm gonna scroll really quickly through them. Love the coffee one, love the coffee one. And the Crimson, those two are really, really nice. Flame. All of them sound really good, and it really brings up density to the material. I'm gonna scroll a couple more, then we change source. So you hear when you use a minimalistic material like a simple drum stem here, you hear the low end, how the distortion on the low end changes between this gunmetal B, F, and J. You can go back and re-listen to it. Let's do acoustic guitar. Nice, and nice is also the filters, like two simple sliders to like rebalance the material. Saturators and clippers are great choices for acoustic guitar, sorry. Incredible how much more density this one adds to this acoustic guitar. Makes me want to make something with acoustic guitars. I like this car S. The B, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the hardware unit. It's kind of MIDI, focused on the mid-range, like nasal sound on this guitar. So maybe you want to pay attention to that. And then let's listen to what appears to be. Crazy. And if you kept your eyes on the meter, we are gaining something like 4 or 5 dB of headroom with on this acoustic guitar. Really nice. This whatever this taupe FJR and trance, which I think is a fatso, it's amazing. Love how this one, SK here, rolls off the top end, similar to the mass, but still different violet. Really, really cool. I love this. So freaking versatile and also very useful, the shape, especially on softer material if you want to back off a little bit the aggression of the saturation. And I think this is it for this video. This was Jam by Acustica Audio. You got 25 different saturators in them, and I think it sounds pretty cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. Link to Acustica Audio Jam is gonna be in the info box down below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay safe. See you next time.
Hands on my neck, hands grip my throat. Lift me up.